In this video, we put 5 premium SUV tyres to the test. We have Michelin, Continental, Goodyear, Bridgestone and Yokohama. We put them into a grueling test of wet, dry, noise and rolling resistance to find out which one truly deserves to be crowned the premium SUV king. First up, this is our first new tyre. This is the Ultra Contact UX7. It's a dedicated SUV tyre, and we are just really interested to find out how well does it perform against other SUV competitors. The next tyre is the Michelin Primacy 5. Initially, we wanted to take the Michelin Primacy SUV Plus. However, the SUV Plus is not available in the 235/55R19 size. Hence, we had no choice to take the Primacy 5. However, the Primacy 5 is the latest Michelin tyre out there right now, and we are eager to see how well it performs against the other dedicated SUV tyres. Next up, we have the Goodyear Assurance Maxguard SUV. This is the dedicated SUV segment tyre for Goodyear in Asia. It prides itself with good wet performance, and let's see how well it handles itself against other SUV competitors. The next tyre we have is the Bridgestone Alenza 001. This is another dedicated SUV tyre from Bridgestone, and it prides itself with comfort and noise. And let's find out whether this holds true and how well it performs against other SUV tyres. Our next tyre is the Yokohama Advan V61 E+. This is our first time testing Yokohama tyres, and we are really excited to test the new SUV tyres from Yokohama, which was launched this year as well. So let's find out how well it performs against the other SUV tyres. Hey guys, have you guys ever experienced a wet braking accident? So here we are at the wet braking track to find out how each tyre performs at different wet braking distances. So this car actually accelerates all the way from 80 all the way down to 0, and we are looking at the braking distance. Bam, here. And we will evaluate different tyres to see how much this distance actually differs.
The Goodyear Assurance Maxguard SUV needed the longest distance to stop at 40.4 meter. The Bridgestone Alenza 00 on the other hand improved to 38.1 meter, 2.3 meter shorter and 10% better. While the Yokohama Advan V61 E Plus follow closely at 37.6 meter, 0.5 meter shorter and 2% ahead. The Michelin Primacy 5 made a stronger jump to 35.1 meter, 2.5 meters shorter and 9% better than Yokohama. But the Continental Ultra Contact UX7 lead confidently at 31.8 meter stopping distance, 3.3 meters shorter than Michelin, making another 10% improvement in braking performance. First up, the wet handling lap times. The Goodyear Maxguard SUV was the slowest at 95.29 seconds, while the Yokohama V61 E Plus trimmed that to 91.98, 3.3 seconds faster and 5% better. The Bridgestone Alenza 001 improved to 90.25 seconds, another 1.7 seconds quicker, followed by Michelin Primacy 5 at 87.81, 2.4 seconds faster. The Continental UX7 again led the pack at 85.94 seconds, 1.9 seconds quicker than the second place Michelin, giving it a 2% edge in overall wet pace. When it comes to subjective wet handling, the Goodyear Maxguard SUV and Yokohama V61 E Plus both started at 5 and 5.5 out of 10, lacking steering precision. The Bridgestone Alenza 001 felt better balanced at 6 out of 10, while the Michelin Primacy 5 achieved 7 out of 10, 1 point higher. The Continental UX7 topped the group with 7.5, 0.5 points higher than Michelin, giving it much better steering control and feedback.
Guys, have you ever wondered when you are driving in the wet and suddenly when you accelerate and you drive through a puddle, suddenly your cars lose control? This is what we call aquaplaning, and today we are at the aquaplaning track and we're trying to measure how much your slipping speed is. So the car actually goes at top speed, and what we are trying to find out is where your tire actually stops turning as fast as the other tires.
When it comes to the results, the Goodyear Maxguard SUV lifted earliest at 72.7 km per hour, while the Yokohama V61 E Plus improved slightly to 74 km per hour, plus 2%. The Continental UX7 held out a bit longer at 74.9 km per hour, gaining 0.9 km per hour, while both the Bridgestone Alenza 001 and the Michelin Primacy 5 achieved the best results at 77.8 and 77.9 km per hour, around 3 km per hour or 4% higher than Continental, proving their superior water clearance and hydroplaning resistance.
So, for SUVs, dry braking is all about safety and control. In this dry braking test, the SUV stops from 100 km per hour down to 0 to measure how different tires have different stopping distance. So, a shorter stopping distance reduces crash risk and makes heavy family vehicle car much more safer.
When it comes to dry braking results, the Goodyear Maxguard SUV stopped at 40.7 meter, the longest in the group. The Bridgestone Alenza 001 improved to 37.9 meter, 2.8 meter shorter or 8% better, while the Yokohama V61 E Plus followed at 36.9 meter, 1 meter shorter. The Michelin Primacy 5 edged closer at 36.6 meter, just 0.3 meter shorter, while the Continental UX7 once again took the lead at 34.1 meter braking distance, 2.5 meters shorter than Michelin, about 7% better in dry braking performance. On the dry track, the lap times of all tyres were really closely matched. The Michelin Primacy 5 was the slowest at 53.44 seconds, followed by the Goodyear Maxguard SUV at 53.27 seconds, just 0.17 seconds quicker. The Continental UX7 clocked 52.78 seconds, 0.5 seconds faster, while the Bridgestone Alenza 001 and Yokohama V61 E Plus share the top pace with 52.71 seconds, essentially identical in the dry circuit performance. However, the subjective dry handling results tells a different story. The Yokohama V61 E Plus scored the lowest at 6.34 out of 10, followed by Michelin Primacy 5 at 6.4, 0.06 points higher. The Goodyear Maxguard SUV rose to 6.82, 0.42 points higher, while the Bridgestone Alenza 001 performed slightly better at 6.91. The Continental UX7 stood at the top with 7 out of 10, with 0.09 points higher than Bridgestone, around 1% advantage in steering feedback.
Noise being one of the critical elements for SUV users, we are actually testing the interior noise of the tires to see how well it performs. So how do we do it? We actually use a dummy head. So let's have a look. So this is a dummy head. It has 2 microphones on its ears, and it's actually measuring the interior noise of the car at 2 different speeds and 2 different surfaces. So why is it so important? So noise, it's very annoying for especially Asia customers, and we are actually trying to have a more smoother and more comfortable ride, which is what users are looking for SUV tires.
In the interior noise results, the Yokohama Advan V61 E Plus was the loudest at 66.6 dB, while the Bridgestone Alenza 001 followed closely at 66.5 dB, just 0.1 dB quieter. The Michelin Primacy 5 and the Goodyear Maxguard SUV tied near mid-pack at 66.3 and 66.1 dB, showing 0.4 to 0.5 dB improvement over Yokohama. The Continental UX7 was the quietest of all at 65.6 dB, 0.5 dB lower than Goodyear and nearly 1 dB quieter than Yokohama, confirming its refinement advantage. The comfort levels were really close in group, with the Bridgestone Alenza 001 slightly firmer at 6.8, while the Continental UX7, Michelin Primacy 5 and the Goodyear Maxguard SUV are all tied at 7, Only the Yokohama V61 E Plus stood out as the most comfortable with a 7.5 out of 10 rating, offering a smoother, more cushioned ride overall. When it comes to rolling resistance results, the Yokohama V61 E Plus is the most efficient at a coefficient value of 6.25, while the Michelin Primacy 5 is close behind at 6.83. The Goodyear Maxguard SUV and Bridgestone Alenza 00 Run rise to 8.27 and 8.36 respectively, while the Continental UX7 is the highest at 8.72, trading efficiency for its strong grip performance. In summary, the Continental Ultra Compact UX7 stands as the clear winner of this test. It delivers the shortest wet braking and dry braking distances, outperforming the Michelin by 3.3 meter in wet and 2.5 meter in the dry. On the track, it was nearly 2 seconds faster per lap and felt the sharpest in steering with top subjective scores. Even with its exceptional grip, the UX7 remained the quietest tyre at 65.6 dB. Though it trades that precision for slightly higher rolling resistance, overall, it's the benchmark for drivers who demand maximum control, safety, and refinement for SUV users. Close behind, it's the Michelin Primacy 5, which earns a highly recommended rating for its excellent all-around balance. It combines strong braking with class-leading aquaplaning resistance and smooth and quiet ride. Its low rolling resistance makes it 20% more efficient than Continental, while comfort and stability remain high. Although it trails slightly in outright grip, the Primacy 5 remains the best choice for drivers seeking refined performance with efficiency. Coming in at third place is the Yokohama Advan V61 E+, which is recommended from our side for its comfort and efficiency focus. It delivers the lowest rolling resistance at 6.25 and the most comfortable ride, ideal for long-distance SUV use. It does give up some wet grip and steering precision, but remains the best choice here for economy-minded SUV users. The Bridgestone Alenza 001 came in at 4th, while offering good aquaplaning performance and stable road manners, but falls greatly behind in wet braking, wet handling, and ride comfort versus the newer competitors. A reliable tyre, but no longer competitive enough to earn a recommendation in this test. Lastly, we have the Goodyear Assurance Maxguard SUV, which is quiet and comfortable, but its 40 meter plus braking distances and slow wet handling limit its performance rating. A safe everyday option, but yet not suited for drivers who prioritize handling and grip.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.